You asked, so we are doing the DIY tint kit for the Cybertruck. Let's go. What I'm kind of doing is this edges right here is a double pane, double glass. So you do need to wash that. There's a lot of dirt because these seals just carry a crap ton of dirt right there. So I like to do this like 3-4 times. And then you just want to spray a bunch of slip solution. This is basically the same slip solution that you use for your PPF, but we actually added more soap than normal. And then I forgot a couple things on this side. And we're gonna include everything. So like Encore, you don't really technically need it. I learned tint kind of the traditional way about 6 years ago. And I just got so used to razor blades. I do not recommend this for DIYers, so we're not gonna give you a razor blade. But if you are comfortable doing it, you can. These are something that you can just buy really anywhere. Any sort of CVS, even Walmart, whatever, online, Amazon. And you kind of do this motion. And I go slow, I don't go fast, but a lot of times there's a lot of built up dirt right there. But luckily this car is actually pretty clean. So I don't feel a whole lot of dirt. But the main thing is that I think the Cybertruck is one of the best candidates for DIY tint is the fact that it is the flattest glass ever to be tinted, I think. Because all the other ones, you actually have to shrink it quite a bit. And shrinking is something that a lot of people don't understand because like when you do PPF, the stretching, I think people understand. You stretch it around the bumper, whatever. This one's like you're shrinking it into it. Cybertruck, you don't have to do that. So after I do the razor blade, you don't really need to do that, I don't think. What you're gonna do is, and if you notice, I actually protected this stuff. A lot of times people use like plastic or whatever, but we have this one that we had custom made. It's a lot easier, it keeps it really clean. I hate cleaning up, so this is just an easier way for me to do that. We're gonna get this, and we are gonna provide this one. This is a sponge, but I like this sponge because it's not like some of the other ones. It leaves a lot of lint or like some sort of particles when you actually clean it. So this one, a lot of tinters use this one. This is tried and true, and you can see I'm just scrubbing the crap out of this, even the edges again, and I'm going to talk about that quite a bit. And then once you get it clean, you can use a Blue Max. This is a very popular one, or you could use a squeegee like this, like a PPF, and you're just going to go and then just kind of clean it up, okay? One thing about the Blue Max, I'm looking at my streaks. I do need to sand this down a little bit. It's overdue, so you do need to do that, some maintenance. All right, so once we have this down, we're actually gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this so that all the dirt kind of drops, and then we're gonna get our tint. And we have 2 right here, and we're gonna go ahead and just get right here. All right, so just gonna put it overboard. Okay, and then you can actually use some water to basically have it on it like that. Super easy. Okay, so once we have it on, right here, just gonna gently place it. I just want to make sure I don't have any imperfections on the tint because I don't want to install tint that's bad. We did just get it from the warehouse, but still. Okay. And here's the thing about tint. Tint is not hard, but very hard to be good at. Okay, so PPF I think is honestly the hardest, but like vinyl, you have a lot of tries. So if something doesn't work, you could basically redo it. You could heat it back up, it conforms back. Tinting, it's a redo, like most of the time. So I think that tinting is one of those that it does take years to get really good at. I like to just make sure that there's no, I'm not going hard like I normally do on the PPF panels, but you're basically making sure all the dirt is off the surface. And then I basically spray again. And then, did we get another glove too? I like using a brand new glove before I put it on. Because like a lot of times, some people, what they do is if they're doing a pro install, they'll add more on the top right here, and then they can pinch it, and then they can cut it afterwards. So that's actually, and then they shave it. So for me, I'm not doing that, and DIY isn't gonna be, yeah, just one more. Yeah, and we're gonna provide this. This is optional, but like for me, like you can see how dry I am. I shed a lot of skin cells. So like I definitely need gloves for me because every single thing that is on your hand is gonna transfer into your tint. Now that we're clean, we're gonna get this area prepped, okay? And this is the other thing about tinting. It is so hard to do if like you do it outside. So some people do it like mobile. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this. All right. All right, so I got this started. I'm gonna try to touch it as little as possible. Okay, and then immediately spray down. And then all right, so now I got brand new. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and then immediately transfer down into the area. And then right away, I got a lot of space right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start feeding it in there by using this little tool right here. You see that? Ah, I forgot to do something. I was like, why is this so short? I think I was gonna do that on video and then I forgot to do it before I actually started the video, so that's why. All right, so now we can go ahead and continue to go down, okay? I like starting in this right angle corner, right here, perfect. And then I go down here, perfect as well. All right, I like using against the light. By the way, this is 20%, and you should check what your legal limit is in all your states. It's all different. But that is the transfer, and that is probably the single most important step in tint installation, okay? So then next, we're gonna go ahead and hold it down. And a lot of times you do this thing called a finger check on tinting. I'm just gonna push this down a couple areas. It was getting caught right there. Okay, cool. I'm gonna shave a couple areas, so it's fine. I'm gonna hold it with one finger like this and go all the way out. I'm not going super aggressive at the moment. I just want to get it all down, okay? And you see this bubble right here? You have to release that. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And then it just releases. There we go. Check the alignment right there. Okay. Next, we're gonna do the same thing. There's a big bubble right there. Came up. Okay. So now we're gonna do a little bit harder now. So one thing I want to clarify too, and I think this is the same for PPF, but a lot of people think a perfect install is possible. Tint is even worse. I mean, honestly, if I get like 5 particles, that's like my standard, and that's pretty low. Like I've never actually had I've had like 1 particle or something like that. That's probably the best I've done. But this is pretty good. I think the transfer was super smooth, and I don't actually see a particle yet, but I haven't actually sealed it yet, so I want to wait until it's fully done. But a lot of times you'll get some contamination where you hold it, and that's why I use a glove. And that's very, very important. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Go down now. Okay. All right, so That's like my second squeegee now. We're gonna do one final one. And then I like using the Blue Max right here. But you should be fine, honestly, doing it with the other one as well, the orange one. But it just gives me a little bit of a handle. I'm going pretty aggressive now. And then one final one. I'm running out of slip solution. I'm gonna go ahead and go one up here. And it's gonna, this gives me the most leverage in pushing everything down. Okay. And then the next step is going to be using a squeegee as well, and then you're going to do all the edges. And you want to get a microfiber like this, and you want to dry it, because a lot of the moisture kind of sits right there. I gotta actually cut that. Adhesive kind of separated it during the cut stage. And then this is such a good tool. This is the triangle. I do this. Just go all the way like that, and then grab your microfiber, dry it. And then you see how wet it is down there. Okay, so just to show you, there's one particle right there. I mean, it is so small, you can barely see that one. I want to be realistic with expectations right there. And then you want to see if you can find any particles, because I see one. There, there's two. There you go. How many particles? Good, honestly. How many particles do you have in your? Don't do the edges yet. Okay. I haven't cut it. But this is probably around 5, 6, if I'm being like totally honest. You know what I'm saying? There's like, it's very minor though. It's not a big one though. That's really the one that, if it's a hair, instant redo.
I never get hair in my installs, ever.
The bearded Tesla saying that. Maybe if you're like unbearded Tesla.
This is why I prefer PPF too, because I have enough time to get it out.
Yeah, you can actually get it out. Tint, you can't get it out. It's so bad. Sweet. So that is pretty good. So what we're gonna do is we had a miscut right here. I don't know, the adhesive kind of separated. I need to make that cut. I'm actually not, can I borrow that real quick? I'm actually not going to do anything on the edges just yet, because I need this to dry a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this all off, clean it up, and then we're gonna let it sit for like 5 minutes. We're gonna heat it up on that side, heat it up on this side, and then do some final cutting and trimming for this one, because it's a special car, special build for Justin's friend. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this up. But that's pretty much how you do it. The DIY tint kit is really gonna be almost the same. I'm just used to very traditional tools, but honestly, you could do like 100% of everything with this. This does, it's a really good squeegee that can do the shrinking. If you are doing a shrinking kit, you can do the actual squeegeeing. You could do the cleaning, as long as it's not like an old one. And remember, it is not testbros.com. We have rebranded to DIYWrapClub.com. Same team, just different name, but we have the same stuff. And we're gonna have the kit where it's this, but of course we're gonna also include this front. And this is kind of one of those things, some people like it tinted, some people don't. I don't know what you would look through that. I don't know. So I typically tint that, but some people don't like to. So it's gonna come with that kit. The rear is already factory tinted, so it's not really necessary. Maybe if you have kids, you want more rejection, sure, but typically that's not necessary. And then of course the rear one is kind of pointless. So let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you later.